There's a cat named Lynn who went to Mira Mesa High School, and he transferred to Monte Vista High School. So we shared knowledge that way from Mira Mesa to Spring Valley, East Camp. Anyways, wanted to make that quick. Oh, what's it? Roderick from Hawaii?
Oh, Roderick.
Yeah, he was on some other level stuff, man. He was bad.
He was more advanced than us.
Right. Yeah, he was awesome. And did you guys film? This is European. This is some European thing. Did you guys film a thing for a German company down at Mission at the roller coaster? See, that was before. Yeah, I heard from some German crew, some Germans, that they got a hold of that tape. Was Roderick on that tape?
Yes.
Because they're talking about the head spins.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, San Diego, Germany, you know? Anyways, yeah, seriously. So me and E, you know, we're like grumpy. You know, this is late 80s, you know, graffiti artist, whatever, grumpy, angry at the world. And I gotta back this up a little bit. Sorry. Those from Rocksteady Crew moved to San Diego to Encinitas. He worked at Bad Boy Company. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Bad Boy for life. Anyway, so those lived in San Diego. We found out, we went to go see him, and you know, we talked to him about breaking, blah, 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 let's bring it back. And you know, went to some Zulu parties up in LA. That's when we saw, I don't know if he was there, but that's the first time I saw Zulu Gremlin. Zulu Gremlin was there, but he was more house dancing. And we were working Doze's booth. He was making leather medallions and stuff like that. So it was Days Rock. He was with us. You know, Ice-T was walking around, whatever. But anyway, so they're like, oh, they're breaking. So those like jumped out of the seat and like ran over there and jumped in the circle, got down. And I think that's what kind of ignited a little bit of the LA scene of, you know, the breakings coming back vibe. Everyone started thinking about it again. 88, late 88, early 89. Because they had Water of the Bush 1 and Water of the Bush 2. So anyways, I always do this to myself, sorry. So anyway, so me and him are grumpy, and we're like, you know, we go to these clubs and we see these kids dancing and they're doing like watered down breaking moves. You know, I guess they're calling it house dancing. And we're like, man, this is, you know, being mean. This is whack. You know, this is not good. They're trying to break. They don't look like they're breaking, but they're doing moves of breaking. You know, they're doing a flare or a 1990, and it looks like they're crashing, and then they're getting up and going on beat again. And we're like, what the hell is this shit? So, excuse me. You know, we're like, screw it. Let's just go out and, you know, get down. So this is like 91. We started forming again. We went out, and then people hating right away. That stuff is old, that's whack, what are you guys doing that? It's played out, you know, kicking at us. You know, we're going to clubs all over San Diego, trying to get down, and, you know, people hating. So we're just battling with that, you know, it was pretty wild. And then, you know, as soon as, you know, our skills improved and, you know, we started getting more numbers, and we started taking over clubs and stuff like that. So that's pretty much how it started to snowball, and then, you know, just progression after that. That's a good cap right there.
Snowball, thanks. Okay, and the reason why it snowballed is because by the time we hit the 90s, there was this, you know, a lot of people talk about this golden era of dance, at least. And we're gonna start with Cros. So what's up, Cros? Everyone pretty much knows you as Freestyle Session, but before that, you were in the front lines, delivery boys and all that. What was this power move era in the 90s?
The sock rocking era? No.
Sock rocking.
No. Yeah, I mean, you know, from the beginnings,
I was actually in Rock City Juniors. That name kind of came up in Paradise Hills. And then I stopped, started hanging around riders, and then started doing graffiti, seeing sake all over the place. And then it's funny because like when I started back in '93, these guys were already practicing, and I knew all of them because a lot of them were writers. So, you know, the whole hip hop thing was still in effect. So, but yeah, like, you know, there was a big population of Filipinos in San Diego. You still see it here. So, a lot of cats were doing power moves. You know what I mean? Like, when I started back, I actually was started breaking in the party scene. So it wasn't even like a b-boy scene. It was like we were going to like raves and stuff, and people were breaking. You know. So I actually started the New Year's '93 was a K-rave at Knott's Berry Farm, and they actually had a hip hop side with like DOS Effects and Black Sheep and stuff. So I seen people breaking there, and I was like, yo, and like I still had moves because, you know, when I was doing wrestling and judo, at the end of practice I would always do windmills and stuff. So I went out there and just busted. And then as soon as we got back, me and my crew, which was primarily like a graffiti crew, but we all used to break, so we're just like, okay, we're just gonna turn into a breaking crew. So we just started doing that at all the raves, and then I think it was like maybe '94 sometime, there was a jam called, what's the one?
Jurassic Park.
Was it?
Jurassic Park or something?
No, it wasn't Jurassic Park. The one that JQ did. Well, there was one, it was, no. Well, there was a jam, and it was half like rave and half hip hop. So like the whole, you know, b-boy scene was there, and then the whole like rave kind of scene was there. So there was a big battle, and like all the hip hop b-boys was breaking against all the guys that were like ravers, you know, basically. And we got smoked. We got smoked. But from that battle, I actually met Donnie, my boy right there from Delivery Boys, you know, and he was like one of the major guys, you know, killing it in power moves. So, you know, like, I mean, we're doing stuff, and then these guys are just already doing flare, windmill flares, 1990s, the flare, whatever, everything, you know. So, I was mad intrigued, so I just hit him up. I was like, yo, where you guys practice? Where you guys from? I never seen him before. You know, I was just like, yo, like, we gotta link up, you know. So I started driving to his house. He lived in San Ysidro, so I started driving from Spring Valley all to San Ysidro, and, you know, got down with Delivery Boys. And from there, we just was hitting everything. You know, there was, when we call them TV parties. They're like Filipino house parties in like Mira Mesa, and all the bass parties. Like, you know, it wasn't even a b-boy scene. It was just a straight party scene. People were partying, but then we would just break off and start breaking. And, you know, once we start breaking, then all these people come out of the woodworks like, oh yeah, break too. We just battling, and then, and I think the major resurgence of everything in San Diego that just kind of put it all together was like B-Boy Summit, which was, what, 95, 94? Yeah, 94, the first one. And I mean, people from all around the world came. It was a free event. It was right there in downtown, the Civic Center, I think it was. Right in the middle, like Rocksteady came. You see Air Force Crew for the first time. I mean, you know, everything was just blowing my mind, because these are things that, you know, we heard about. We didn't even see the videos. We just heard about it, like, yeah, this guy's doing, you know, he's doing like a head spin, but it's sideways. And that was a halo. But we seen it for the first time. We seen like Little Caesar doing it, and we're just like, dude, we're never gonna get that good. We might as well just quit. You know, like, it was crazy. Like, so, and you know, from there was power movers and you know, people that call it like style cats, and you know, there was like a kind of a big divide, but it actually helped the scene, because, you know, there was guys like Saki and E-Swift. They were in a crew called B-Boy Alliance, and, you know, they were more like fundamental B-Boys, and then, you know, me and our guys, Delivery Boys, and the whole little scene from the party crews and stuff like that, we're all focused on like the spins, you know. So, and these styles would battle all the time. It was like, nah, we're better than you guys. Like, no, we're better. Like, you guys don't even break. You guys just spin, you know. Like, so, and then we did, but that made us learn footwork. you know, and everything. So, you know, we became more well-rounded and just kind of made for a healthy scene. So, yeah, and then from B-Boy Summit, you know, it was going on every year, and then they actually moved it to LA, I think 97 and 98. And then that's how Freestyle Session was born, because I just seen at the practices, nobody was practicing unless there was a jam. So like, you know, like my boy Louis Sunkrock, he used to throw this jam called Secret Wars, you know, like once every couple, you know, months or something. And really nobody would go to nobody would even go to practice unless there was a jam, you know? So I was like,
Sounds familiar.
yo, I think I'm just gonna throw a gang of jams and make people practice all the time. So I'm not here alone practicing by myself, you know? So, yeah, and then from there, I mean, shoot, like, it went from once a year to like 3 times a year, you know, and then more people started, you know, throwing jams, and then now there's actually B-Boy jams, you know what I mean? Like, all spawned off with B-Boy Summit, Radiotron, you know, all these joints, you know, so.
Cool. Great. So, party scene, the rave scene,